Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Holy Trinity High School in Hicksville, New York, for today's CHSAA matchup between the Bayhawks of St. Dominic's and the Titans of Holy Trinity High School. Hello and good evening, everybody. I'm Jack Light. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Game was looking to get started at 5:45. It's 5:54. Looks like it's going to be a good game between the Bayhawks and the Titans. Okay, here we go, getting ready for the first serve. There's St. Dom's. Jack Like and Matt Becker on the call. Azealia sets and taps it over. Looking to trick the Doms offense, but it can't. They get it going, and Holy Trinity is going to give them a free ball. There's the back row hit from Doms. Good defensive save by Trinity and a tap over by Kozlowski. Another hit by the libero. Little miscommunication with the Titans, but Jorgensen's going to get it back over. What can Doms do with the free ball? Another sloppy hit from Doms, set from Azealia. There's Holman. Here's the attack. Good back row defense from Calcano. Holman again. And Kozlowski's going to jump up over the net.
That is a huge block there from Kozlowski.
And Kozlowski using her height there, Matt, just to get over the net and tap it right down. We're going to see a substitution of Rachel Guzman coming in, as well as Emma Lamena. And Guzman's going to take that serve for Holy Trinity. There's Guzman. Libero's going to get it for St. Dom's. There's a set in the attack. Good defense by Lozier. There's Azealia, gives it to Lamena, who just came in. She got her first attack on the day right now. Good attempt on defense from Calcano, but it's going to be a kill for St. Dom's. Number 10. Good serve from Doms. There's Kozlowski getting it over and giving them the ball back. It's a free ball. Lozier sets it for Lamena. Lamena taps it over. Another attack from Doms. And they're going to get their second point on their second kill from Kira Akalanu out of New Hyde Park. Only a freshman on the St. Dom's teams, but she's got a lot of height, and so far they're scoring 2 points off 2 kills from her. There's Lozier. Gives it to Azealia, who sets it up for Kozlowski. Kozlowski's going to get that one in, and it's a kill for Kozlowski, and the game's going to be even at 2. Substitution, Kira Gildernew is going to be coming in for Calcano. Taking the serve for Holy Trinity is Casey Azealia. Powerful serve from Azealia. There's the back row hit from the libero for St. Dom's. Azealia sets up Kozlowski again, but Good defense from Akalanu. Like we said before, Akalanu is going to be a big player in the St. Dom's team. And so far, she's kind of been the highlight for all 3 of their points. Here taking the serve is Alexandria Marshall for St. Dom's. Lozier hands it off to Azelius, who gives it to Gildernew, who's going to get a kill. Great job from Azelius getting into the back row and getting a nice set off to Gildernew. And Gildernew, you know, I mean, Azelius did all she could with the set, but great job by Gildernew to do what she could and get a kill. This serve from Lozier. It's a good serve, as Trinity's going to get a free ball back. Here's Gildernew again from the outside. Good defense from Doms. Miscommunication, but they're going to get it back over. Now we're going to see LaMena. More good defense. Here's the attack from Doms. This time we see good defense from Trinity, but it's going to be a kill for St. Doms.
Yeah, that ball was just so deep back there. Guzman just had a hard time getting that ball up in the air.
And we saw that they all kind of went back there, and they all hit it with one hand. We couldn't get, you know, but still good defense from Trinity, but couldn't do anything there. Well, LaMena hit it back on the serve. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but got it back over, and Trinity's got the ball back again, and there's LaMena. Whistle's going to be blown, though, and looks like there's some net violation, and Trinity's going to get the point. As we see that, we see 2 substitution. Coming into the game is Holman and Jorgensen for Guzman and LaMena. And taking the serve is going to be Jorgensen. So 4-4 game here at Holy Trinity High School. Olivia Jorgensen on the serve. Gets it into the back corner. The attack from Doms, a lot of power, but a little bit too much from Megan McCarthy. Here's Jorgensen again. And that's going to be an ace for Jorgensen. And that was a good job by her. We just saw a powerful serve into the back corner, and then that time she hit it a little bit more lightly into the front row. I think we're going to see the St. Dom's coach moving her players over a little bit, hopefully trying to defend Jorgensen's serve. So here's Trinity again, set from Azelius. Here's Holman going for the attack. Great play by the libero of Doms, and they're going to give a free ball over to the Titans after some good defense. So miscommunication, and it's going to lead to a Trinity point as St. Dom's is going to hit it 4 times. Here's Jorgensen. And Jorgensen's going to pick up another ace. Great job by Jorgensen picking up her second ace.
Yeah, she's just doing really great on these serves, you know, just placing it just right, making it hard for these St. Dom's players.
Another nice serve. They're going for the attack. Here's McCarthy, but she's going to hit that one into the net. It's going to be a point for the Titans. And we're going to see the first time out called to this game, match by St. Dom's. When we come back, it's the Titans and the Bayhawks here on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Welcome back here on the Hoy Trans School YouTube channel. Here's Jorgensen once again. Already picking up a couple aces on the day. There's a back row defense from Lozier. They're going to give it off to Gildernew. But whistle's being blown as St. Thomas is going for the ball. And we're going to see another net violation by Doms. So that must be frustrating for St. Doms. Hate to lose that with points and things like that. Here's Holman on the outside. That one's just going to go out. And good discipline by the Bayhawks, you know, not trying to go for that one. And that's going to be an ace for St. Dom's. That hit was from number 7, Jaslyn Garcia out of Westbury. She's a junior on this Bayhawks team, and we're going to see her once again. There's Garcia. Gives it to Lozier. Set from Azelius. Here's Holman on the outside. The Bears going to pick it up for Doms, and they're going to get it back over after the attack. On the front row, here's Holman again. Back row attack from Doms. Here's the set from Azelius to Gildernew. Too much power from Gildernew. That one's going to go out. Doms isn't going to bite. That's a point for them.
Yeah, again, that's just great discipline by this Bayhawk team. Yeah, they're just realizing when to go for the tough hits and not.
Here's the service error there from Garcia, and to be a point for the Titans. Good defense from Doms here. After some trouble trying to recover from that serve. And we'll see a nice hit from number 16, Mia Seaman out of Westbury, New York. It's a substitution on St. Dom's. And here's the serve from them. It'll be dug out by a Lozier. And Guter's going to try to get that one, but it's going to go ahead into the net. And St. Dom's is going to pick up another point here on the serve for them. Who's number 13, Caitlin Tuhig. Here's Tuhig. High serve, picked up by Calcano. Set from Azelius, there's Guter. And Guter's going to pick up a kill. And you had to talk about the adjustment that we see there, Matt. You just saw her hit one into the net, but that one she got over and got the kill.
Yeah, that was just a great adjustment by her. Missed it the first time, but tried again and got it.
And now we're going to see Guter again, this time on the service line. Nice serve from her, and it's going to be an ace from Maggie Guter.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of aces today by a couple different players on both teams, but that was just a great serve.
Here's Guter again. Titans up by 4 here. Good defense by both teams, but here's Holman, and Holman's going to pick up a kill. Went to the hands of the St. Dom's blockers for Holman to pick up a kill. On the serve is Maggie Guter once again. And good defense by Doms, but I don't think they're going to get that one over. It's going to be another ace for Maggie Guter. Another serve by her. Miscommunication by St. Dom's, but they're going to get it over. And then a couple rough hits from Trinity, and that one's going to go out of bounds. See a substitution. Gooder's going to come on out after a couple great serves. And back in is Ashley Lozier. There's Calcano to Azelius to Kozlowski on the attack, and she's going to pick up a kill. You see a substitution coming in is Rachel Guzman and Emma Lamena, and taking the serve is going to be Guzman. They're going to be coming in for Kaylin Holman and Olivia Jorgensen. Here's Guzman. And Dons is going to work to get that one back over, but they get it. Here's Kozlowski again. It's a kill as Kira Kozlowski puts that one on the ground. What a job by her. And a great set from Azelius just to get that one in between the St. Dom's defenders. Here's Guzman this time on the left side. Serves it over to the right side. With the set, an attack from Dom's. That one's going to be just out. Off a hard hit from Kira Akalanu. Here's Guzman this time from the middle of the court. Switching around the positions of her serves. Some good defense by both teams, especially Ashley Lozier, the libero of the Titans. There's Akalanu again, and she's going to pick up a kill.
Yeah, what a play by the Titans there, just keeping the ball off the ground. They're just flying everywhere.
Flying Titans. See a substitution for St. Dom's. Coming into the game is going to be number 14, Emma Filbury. Filbury out of Hicksville, New York. She's a senior on this Dom's team. Lozier takes the serve, gives it to Azelius, who gives it to Kozlowski, who went on the outside of Azelius there. And it worked! After some miscommunication from St. Dom's, Trinity's going to pick up a point. We see a substitution. Kira Goodman coming in for Calcano. Here's Azelius. Titans up by 8. Nice serve. Dug out by Doms. A miscommunication once again, and 3 Doms are going to be frozen, staring at that one, bouncing between them. I think that's something that we've seen that hopefully Doms will be talking about in their timeouts or in between sets, is that there's just a lack of communication. They seem just to be running around, and if they can clean up the communication, I mean, the power in the front row hitters is definitely there. There's a nice set. And a good attack from Doms, but the block by the Titans is going to go out. And like I just said, there's another kill by one of the Bayhawk outside hitters. We'll see a substitution coming into the game for Bayhawks is going to be number 13, Tuhig. We saw Tuhig on the service line a couple minutes ago. There's a serve from Doms. That one's just going to get over the net, and it's going to be an ace for Alexandria Marshall, a senior out of Glen Cove, New York. There's Lameda from the back row. Gives it to Azelius, who gives it to Kozlowski, who taps it over. This time it's Guzman in the back row. Azelius to Lamena. Good defense from Doms, but that one just missed the hand of Doms' outside hitter, Caitlin Tuhig. The substitution coming out of the game is going to be Kira Kozlowski. Coming into the game is going to be Maggie Gluter, number 24. Taking the serve is Ashley Lozier. There's Akalano. And Looks like there's going to be another net violation called. But this time, I think it's going to be on Holy Trinity. And I don't know if it was a net violation, but whistle was blown, and I think it was due to maybe, it might have been the net violation, I'm not sure. There's Gooder on the attack, and Gooder's gonna pick up a kill. This time with no bracelets on.
Yeah.
Coming into the game is gonna be Olivia Jorgensen and Caitlin Holman. Looks like the confusion might have been that Gooder had some, what do you call those?
Bracelets.
Bracelets? Hair ties?
Hair ties, something on her wrist, and I think the refs just called her for it, but she got her point back.
Taking the serve is going to be Jorgensen. There's a tap from Doms there, but this time Trinity got it back. That was Gildernew on the attack. And that one just got over, and it's going to be a kill for Nicole Covino out of Hicksville, New York for St. Dom's. And you're going to see a substitution coming into the game is going to be number 6, Roselli, and number 21, Himmelstein. Nice serve by Doms as Lozier's dig sends it back over to them. And then we're going to see them hit into the net again off the attack from Covino. That's going to be a point for the Titans. Only 2 away from picking up the first set here at Holy Trinity High School.
We
serve from the Titans. And you see Gooder giving the free ball over to St. Dom's. You see Lozier on some good defense.
Great save by Lozier.
Holman. This is the attack from Dom's. Another good job by Lozier. Set to Gooder. A little too powerful, but St. Dom's bites the hook, and it's going to be a kill for Gooder.
Yeah, that ball looked like it was going out, but, you know, we were talking before about how St. Dom's was looking so controlled and knowing when to go for those hard-hit balls, but, you know, they just bid on that one. Titans need one more point to close this set, and
that one's not going to be it, as we see a little too much power, from Caitlin Holman. She's been absolutely terrific today in the outside row so far. Between her, Gooder, and Kozlowski, they've been great today. Galcano's going to come into the game for Gildernew on the Titans side of the bench. There's Jorgensen in the back row.
Here's the serve from number 12 from St. Dom's, Covino.
There's Galcano on the outside for the Titans. She gets down a little bit too hard. 24-19 here at Holy Trinity High School. St. Dom's down by 5. We're taking the service number 12, Covino. Lozier to Azelius. To Holman. Good defense by Dom's blockers. Gooder's going to get it back over, and this time they're going to keep it. Here's Holman again on the attack. Dom's trying to send it back. Good defense by Jorgensen. To Azelius. To Hallman. Good job there by Calcana. There's Lozier's got to save it, but they're not going to be able to do anything there. And Titans are having a little bit of trouble getting that 25th point in this set.
Yeah, they're just having a hard time trying to get that ball over the net. You know, they're getting it over the net, but the St. Dom's team is sending it right back over. Here comes the serve from number 12, Covino again.
There's Jorgensen to Azelius, to Guter. And that one's going to be out, and it's another point for St. Dom's. And you have to think here that Coach Hogan might be thinking about calling a timeout pretty soon. Bayhawks looking to come back here. We're going to need a couple more nice serves from Covino, though, if we need it to happen. There's Lozier to Jorgensen. Azelius is going to have to bump it over. She does. Here's the attack for Doms. Good defense by Lozier. You're going to see a violation call. That's going to be a point for St. Dom's. Excuse me. A point for the
Titans.
Trinity.
The Titans do win this set.
And the Titans are going to pick up a win in the first set. So Holy Trinity High School, we saw a little bit of confusion there by the referees as there was the whistle blown, and the point was originally gifted to St. Dom's, but he changed his call, and the point was given to Holy Trinity Titans to give the first set to them. So they're leading 1-0 when it comes to the sets at Holy Trinity High School. We'll see what happens in the next two or more when we come back on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Welcome back here on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. Jack Like and Matt Becker here on the call for you today for the match between St. Dom's and Holy Trinity Titans. Titans won the first set here at Holy Trinity High School, and now we've begun the second set. There's the attack from Dom's. Good defense by the Titans. There's another attack by Dom's. Trinity's saving it. Another piece of miscommunication, by St. Dom's is going to lead to the Titans getting the first point of this second set.
Ace by Lozier there. That was just a great hit. Confused all the people in the back for St. Dom's.
St. Dom's back row. Brushing off the rust here at Holy Trinity. This is Titans' last home game. They haven't had a home game since last week. They haven't had a game since last week,
Thursday.
Which was done by us. So, if you thought we would be gone, we're still here. I don't know if you'd be hoping that we'd be gone. I hope not, but we're still here. Hopefully we'll be doing some more games. I think we're going to be doing next week's too. And looks like St. Dom's is going to pick up a point here. And there's some excitement on their side of the bench.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication from the Titans there, but nothing they can't handle.
So 2-2 at Holy Trinity High School in the second set. There's the outside tap from Kozlowski. Here's Azelius. Hands it over to Calcano, and now Calcano hits it over. We see the block and the hit back into the ground from Akalanu. Looks like it's going to be an ace there for St. Dom's. Jimeno serve, the middle of the barrel for Dom's. There's Calcano in the back row. Gives it to Azelius. Powerful hit from Kozlowski. There's Akalano. And Akalano who's going to pick up a kill. Coach Karen Hogan's going to talk to her Titans. This should be talking to number 12, Lily Aponte, who sophomore, who's very talented. We didn't see her play in the first set. There's a back row hit from Calcano. Gives it to Lozier. And tries to give it to Kozlowski to get it over for the free ball, but not going to get that one over. And rightfully so, Coach Karen Hogan's going to call a timeout. As her Titans are down by 4, he doesn't want it to get out of control. We'll see what happens in the rest of the second set when we come back on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. Welcome back here on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. And looks like Coach Hogan might have used some of her powers there, and her players didn't even have to do anything. And they're going to pick up a point to cut the lead in half from 6 to 2 to 6 to 3. You good? There's Guzman, gives it to Azelius. Gives it to Lamena on the outside, but she's going to hit that one into the net. So a substitution for St. Dom's. We'll see that coming into the game is going to be number 7, Garcia, number 17, McCarthy. Taking the serve is going to be Garcia. Here's Azelius. Gives it to Kozlowski. Going to get it over, but Titans got it back again. Good power flip from Kozlowski. There's Akalano, and she's going to pick up a kill.
Yeah, St. Dom seems to be dominating this this quarter so far.
Here's Garcia on the serve. Romano was on the attack there for the Titans. There's the outside hitter for Doms, and she's going to get a kill. That's number 17, Megan McCarthy.
Can you text? This is
And it's going to be an ace for Garcia. Here's Garcia again. Dom's up by 7. There's Lozier in the back row to Azelius. Gives it to Lamena. Lamena on the attack, but good defense by Doms. McCarthy's going to get it over for them. It's a free ball for the Titans. What can they do? Azelius tries to trick the Bayhawks defense. There's Lamena. Good communication. Here's Akalano. Tries to tap it over, but Azelius is there. Lozier. Azelius taps it into the corner. Comes Dom's side of the court. There's McCarthy, the attack, and she's going to get it over for a kill. As she's going to get past the diving Lozier. And Matt, like what I talked about before, is that miscommunication and that jumble, it seemed that was happening every time on St. Dom's, is that they were just jumbling together and there was just a lack of communication what was going on. But over the timeout, it looks like they might have figured something out here. As they're moving the ball around a lot better. Here's Garcia on another serve from her. Set from Azelius over to Lamena. And Lamena's going to pick up a kill, and maybe that's what the Titans need to start picking up some momentum here in the second set.
Yeah, I think that's just what the Titans needed. That 1 point that might send them over the edge. Might start a chain reaction here.
We saw Thomas come in for the Titans, and that was Azelius in the serve. Here's Lozier on the set to Thomas. She taps it over. Let's see a violation on the Titans. And it looks like that was on Thomas as Thomas hit it over. I mean, she might have looked like she just pushed that one too much with her hands, and that was the call there. There's the Bayhawks in the serve, and there's nothing that the Titans can do there as they just can't hit the ball where they want right now. It's going to be an ace for number 9, Alexandria Marshall out of Glen Cove, New York. She's a senior on this Bayhawks team. That's Marshall. Here's Azelius over to Thomas. And
Great save by Lamena there off to Kozlowski, and she just slammed it right down on the Bayhawks.
great job by Kozlowski there, using her power and finding a hole in the Dom's defense. Kozlowski's going to be taking the serve for the Titans. Looks like the table might have been unplugged, the scorer's table, but we're not at that table. They don't let us go over there, Matt. I don't know if we smell bad or something like that, but they don't let us go over there, so our power's still on. But you wouldn't know that, but in the first set, our power did go off for a little bit, but nothing went off, so we're good. But I'll stop rambling, as here's Maggie Gooder, on the serve. Back row hit from Libero of St. Dom's. Sets it off to McCarthy, but McCarthy wasn't there. It looks like McCarthy and the setter both went to set the ball, but the setter set it to McCarthy, who was trying to set it. So no one was there. So you can try to get that attack for the Bayhawks.
Yeah, again, these Bayhawks, just little miscommunication, like, messes the whole team up, but they seem to be doing a little bit better throughout this second set, as you just saw right there, but
I think it's those miscommunications that we've seen. I think we've seen more on Doms in that first set, and I think we're seeing a little more from the Titans in the second set. And you see how that all leads to the influence in the score. There's going to be another. So there's another problem with the table. Welcome back here on the Holy Trail School YouTube channel. Jack Like and Matt Becker, and after some table confusion and mishaps, the Titans pick up a kill off a nice hit from Thomas.
looks like a Ponte, number 12, came into the game for Emma Lamena.
Here's Jorgensen on the serve. Nice job by her. That's McCarthy. They started off with the dig, but that was a nice back row hit by St. Dom's Libero. Ponte got it over the Titans, but Dom gets it back over. Here's a Ponte again. That one's going to go into the net. It's going to be a point for St. Dom's. Titans down by 8 here. The substitution coming into the game is going to be number 6, Alessia Roselli, coming in for Mia Seaman. Excuse me, Megan McCarthy. There's Azelius over to Thomas. Good defense by both teams, but there's a Ponte. That one was hit way too hard, and that one's going to go out. Here's the serve by Dobbs. Nice back row hit from Jorgensen. Set from Azelius over to Thomas. And there's trying to be another back row attack from St. Dom's. That's something I haven't seen a lot from so far out of teams, but seems they're going for that back row attack quite a lot coming into the game for the Titans. It's going to be Calcano coming in for number 10, Madison Thomas. Calcano, a sophomore on this Titans team. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, Christina Zaza is coming in for the Titans. She's been in for a couple points so far. And speaking of picking up some points, there is Calcano picking up an ace. There's Calcano on the serve. This is going to go into the net. Good job by the Titans there, just working to get the ball over on the Dom side, and now they're going to be disciplined and not bite the hook, and that one's going to go out after a little bit too much power off Himmelstein. Coming into the game is going to be Cavallone for the Bayhawks. On the serve is Ashley Lozier. Titans down by 7. Don't want to lose this second set. And then they had to tie it up. There's the attack on the outside for Doms. Here's the set from Azelius, and Kozlowski's just going to tap it over. Another outside attack, but good defense from Kozlowski. They're going to go for it again. This time Kozlowski can't block it. Here's the set from Azelius over to the outside for Aponte. She's going to hit that one too hard. It's going to go out. There's the serve by Doms. Lozier's going to dig it up. Give it to Azelius. Is going to give it to Holman. And there's the Caitlin Holman we saw in the first set, picking up a kill.
Yeah, she came in for number 12, Lily Aponte, and that was just, she did her job, and now she's coming out again for, it looks like Rachel Guzman, and Olivia Jorgensen's coming out for number 4, Emma Lamena.
Here's Rachel Guzman on the serve. Titans down by 7. Looks like that one just went out, and it's going to be a point for St. Dom's.
Yeah, Titans seem to be having a little bit of a hard time in here in this second set, but, you know, there's always a chance of a comeback.
Coming back into the game for St. Dom's is McCarthy. And also coming in is Garcia. We see those two coming together quite a lot. And taking the serve is Garcia. That one went off the side of her head a little bit too much. Maybe she'll try to spin that serve. It's going to go out, and so is she.
Looks like she's coming out for number 14, Emily Filbury from Hicksville, New York. She's a senior.
And coming into the game was, as well, Madison Thomas. Take the serve for the Titans is Casey Azelius. There's Azelius, just gets that one over the net. And here's Akalanu. A lot of power from her in the attack, but here's Thomas. Thomas hits it to the corner on the cross-court attack. Libero is just going to get it over, but that one looks like it went out. And the point's going to go to St. Dom's, but looks like both of the lines judge just called that one out.
Looks like Coach Hogan is just going to speak to the officials here.
Looks like they're going to change that call, and rightfully so, as And looks like the JV player for St. Dom's called that one out, you know, when she stuck her flag up. Pretty obviously, I mean, I'm not sure if she hesitated at first, but she definitely called it out. I mean, and
They're still talking to the officials now,
the
but
line judge went over to talk to the head ref. And we see a back and forth here.
yeah, I think there's just a lot of confusion between both teams. I mean, we couldn't see that from where we were sitting, but from how the JV players have been using their flags, they indicated the ball was out.
I mean, pretty obviously. well, what can you do? You know, not everybody's going to be happy, but I think it went out.
Yeah. Either way,
Maybe
Titans
are
got
we a
the
little
point.
biased though? We might be a little biased. But,
Yeah.
I mean, she's not biased. She called it out. There's the serve for the Titans. And St. Thomas hit that one to the net. And Trinity has picked up the last 2 points in the last 2 serves. And they're only down by 5 here. I mean,
Comeback story, yeah.
comeback. Well,
They were
now
losing.
you jinxed it. So
Yeah,
we'll see what happens
maybe.
here for the Titans. But
No, the Titans, I think, can close out this set. And
here's Casey Azelius. Azelius, powerful serve. Too powerful. That one's going to go out. And no confusion on that call. That was Marshall on the serve, and Marshall's going to pick up an ace. She's going to pick up an ace. There's Azelius. She taps it over. And speaking of tapping it over, there's Kira Kozlowski. She sticks her hands over the net to knock that one back into the ground. Titans down by 6 here.
I think what the St. Thomas player was trying to do is she was just trying to tap it over the net, but didn't see Kozlowski standing there, and she just towered right over that ball. Here comes the serve now from Kozlowski.
Mosier coming out for the Titans, and there's the serve from Kozlowski. And it's going to be a kill for St. Dom's. Looks like that one's by Akalano. There's Akalano on the serve this time. Lemaitre from the back row. Gives it off to Azelius, who gives it to Zaza. It's going to be some good defense by both teams, but there was Lemaitre on the attack. A little more miscommunication. That's going to give the Titans a free ball. Here's Thomas going for the ball and going for the kill, but she's not going to get it. We're going to see a violation called on the tap over by Doms, and it's going to be a point for the Titans. That's Jorgensen on the serve. Here's St. Dom's, little piece of miscommunication, but it's going to be an ace for Holy Trinity High School. Served by Jorgensen, and here's St. Dom's. Libero from the back row is going to hit it over. Here's Lozier over to Holman. There's the outside hitter from St. Dom's going for the cross-court kill. She's not going to get it. There's a little bit too much power there. This could be another point for the Titans, only down by 4 here. Gonna see a substitution here for St. Dom's. This could be number 3 coming in. Julia Rappa. And there's Jorgensen. And that one's going to go out, and And those are the ones that just kill the momentum, Matt. You know that. I mean, you know, I'm sure it's tough to get a lot of those serves in, but those are the ones that just kills the momentum there. And coming into the game for St. Dom's is going to be number 6, Alessia Roselli. Roselli out of Roslyn Hills. There's Roselli. Here's Azilius, giving it to Thomas. Thomas going cross court. Good defense by Jorgensen. Here's Holman on the outside, giving it over to Libero. It's going to be a free ball for the Titans. What can they do? Here's Thomas. Spins that one over on the attack. This one's going to get over again, and it's Jorgensen who dives and hits it into the net. And now, St. Dom's only 1 point away here from taking the second set at Holy Trinity High School. Here's a serve from St. Dom's. Here's Lozier giving it to Holman. Holman taps it over, and that's a great job by Caitlin Holman. I mean, that's a smart play. After hitting the ball hard all day from the outside, just a nice little tap over. And, man, did that confuse the Bayhawks. And a great way to swing the ball back over to the Titans side of the court. And taking the serve is going to be Gildernew. Here's Gildernew. Gets that one over. Here's the attack from Doms. Good job by Lozier. Gives it to Azilius. Here's Holman again on the outside. Now Gildernew's going to give it to Azilius. Back to Holman again. Don't mean to repeat myself, but the Titans are. And Gildernew to Azilius to Holman, and this time it works. And they had to do the Gildernew to Azilius to Holman. How many times? 4 times.
4 times.
And
that was just
play to get that one to work, and that was just a great job. Let's see if we can get the replay there as St. Dom's calls a timeout.
Yeah, that was just an incredible defense by those St. Dom's players there. They were going all out just to keep that ball in play.
And here we see a great play by Doms to get it back over. But the Titans finish it off there. It's a great job by them and a great job by Caitlin Holman. Well, the Bayhawks are going to give the Titans a break and themselves a break, and we're going to take a break here on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Welcome back here on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Jack Blake and Matt Becker here. Titans down by 4 here. Doms just took a timeout. Here's Caitlin Holman on the attack. This time we're going to try to see Doms. They tap it over, but this is Lozier giving them a free ball. Can Doms take advantage of the opportunity? Good defense by Azilius. Lozier this time gives him a free ball again, but this time more towards the back row. That's Jorgensen to Azilius. To Holman. Taps it over. It's in. Another kill for Caitlin Holman. And Caitlin Holman's been on fire these first 2 sets for the Titans. She's a standout player in this game. And even if the Titans don't take this second set, just shows the resilience they have. Well, they don't want to end this momentum they have. Gildenrew's going to keep on taking the serves. And the Titans are going to get a free ball here. Let's see what they can do with it. Here's Azilius. Going to give it to Holman once again. Bayhawks at this point have to be expecting it, right? There's Jorgensen. Azilius. Guess who's getting it? She hits it to the Libero. And Libero once again is going to go from the back row and take it over to the Titans side of the court. Here's Holman. A nice powerful attack by her. And it's going to be a kill for Caitlin Holman. And the lead is going to be cut down to 2. What a job by Caitlin Holman, and what a job by these Holy Trinity Titans. They will not go down without a fight. And right now, the fans are going crazy for the Titans and Caitlin Holman. Here's Kira Gildenew. Gives it to Libero in the back row. Sets it up for St. Dom's. Azelius gives it to Lozier. Lozier sets up Holman. Holman gives it to the diving Libero for St. Dom's. There's the attack for them. Gildenew in the back row. Hands it off to Azelius. Off to Holman. Goes to the cross-court attack. Can't get the kill there. There's the back row hit from Libero on St. Dom's, and that one's going to get the set point for them. So St. Dom's is going to pick up the second set here at Holy Trinity High School, but what a great job and what a great show of the Titans' resilience there. And after a lot of great plays by Caitlin Holman. Now we're going to take a look at the replay of this. We're going to take a look at the replay of the last play of the second set. Let's take a look. And then we see the Titans' luck ran out there. There's a couple great hits from the St. Dom's Libero led to them getting a win in the second set, but the Titans did have a little more momentum towards the end of that second set, and they need to carry that through as they head on to the third and the fourth. Well, what happens in the third and the fourth? We'll find out what happens when we come back on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Welcome back here on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. It is time for the third set here at Holy Trinity High School. I'm Jack Like. I'm joined here with Matt Becker. Matt, in the first two sets. First set, we saw a lot of sloppiness on the side of St. Dom's, and that led to the Titans winning the first set. And the second set, we saw some sloppiness on the side of the Titans, and that led to them giving the Bayhawks the second set. It's all going to depend. What can we see happening here in this third set? We'll find out what happens. Jack Like, Matt Becker on the call. Welcome back here on the Holy Transfer YouTube channel. Taking the serve is going to be Libero for St. Dom's. Faith Peluso. Titans send it back over to them to start the third set. That's a hard hit from number 10, but a little bit too hard from Kira Akalanu. Coming into the game is going to be Emma Lamena and Rachel Guzman. Good serve by Guzman. Titans get the ball back here. There's going to be a little tap over from Azelius. Trying to trick St. Dom's and hitting the ball into the net is going to be the libero, Faith Peluso. And that's going to be an ace for Rachel Guzman. Dude, I hear you chewing.
Titans are leading this set 3-0, and here comes Guzman.
Nice serve by Guzman. Here's Akalanu. And that's going to be a kill for Akalanu. Goes off the hands of Ashley Lozier and into the stand. And that just shows the power that she has in her arm. Nice serve by Dobbs. There's a set from Azelius over to Kozlowski, and she's going to pick up a kill.
Yeah, Kozlowski's just doing a great job of pushing the ball to the back row and forcing them to do something with it, and they're just not expecting it to come right to them.
Coming in for the Titans is number 43, Kira Gildernew, coming in for Haley Calcano. That's Azelius on the serve. Nice job by Peluso on defense for Dobbs. Here's Lemaine on the attack. Good defense by Dobbs. Peluso from the back row. Azelius sets it over, gives it to Lamena, and Lamena picks up a kill. Here's Casey Azelius on the serve. Titans up by 4 here. Good serve by her. And looks like between Akalanu and Marshall, they're going to hit that one out. Now we're going to see a piece of miscommunication there by St. Dom's.
St. Dom's is going to call a timeout, it looks like. They just need to, like, regroup and get their minds back on track. But these Titans coming out hot in this third set.
And we're going to take a timeout, too. When we come back, it's Titans up by 5 here on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. There's Azilius. Serves it over to Akalanu. But there's the defense from Kira Kozlowski taking the block for for Holy Trinity High School. Here's Casey Azilius again. Titans up by 6 here. Azilius. Strong serve. Gives it to Akalanu, his Doms, and she's going to pick up a kill. And St. Dom's going to get their second point of the third set. Taking the serve now is Marshall for St. Dom's. Marshall out of Glen Cove, New York. Here's Gildernew. And the attack hits that one into the net, but violation is going to be called on 4 touches by the Titans. And the Bayhawks have picked up 2 points in the last 2 serves. Nice serve from Marshall. And that was Gildernew on the attack. Guzman on some good defense, gives it to LeMaine, who just tries to tap it over through Doms. There's Akalano. She's going to hit that one. Looks like it was just out, and it's going to be a point for St. Dom's. Excuse me, a point for Holy Trinity. That was a close call there on the back line, but pretty sure it was out, and a good job by the line judge for the Titans. Here's Ashley Lozier on the serve. Back row hit from Peluso for Doms. There's Azilius. Gives it off to Lamena for the cross.
Ooh, good hit by Lamena.
Turn that into a cross-court kill.
That was just a great hit by Lamena. I didn't even think she was going to hit that one, but she just hit that one right through there, the Bayhawks defense.
Here's Lozier on the serve. Peluso hands it off to the outside here, Rappa, but she's going to hit that one into the net. Nice serve by Holy Trinity, and that's going to be an ace for the Titans. Good job and a great serve by Ashley Lozier. There's Ashley Lozier on the serve. That one's going to go into the net. Akalanu on the serve for Doms. Gives it to Lozier. Azilius sets up Gooder, and that's a nice hit by her, but a good block by St. Dom's keeps them in this point. Gooder gets it back over again, but this one's going to be hit in the net by Julia Rappa.
Yeah, these Titans are just playing a good offense on the net. And they're also playing great defense up close. Like Kozlowski's, when she's in, she's just a huge presence for that Titan defense. Olivia Jorgensen taking the serve for the Titans.
No serve by Jorgensen. There on the outside here was Rappa going for the attack. Here's Holman, this time going for the cross-court kill. Not going to get it. Here's Peluso from the back row. Gives it to the Titans. Here's Gildenew on the attack. And a good job by her, but it's going to be a good save by Peluso. Rappa hits it over. Lozier gives it to Azelius to Gooder for the kill. Good job, and after some good defense by St. Dom's, Holy Trinity High School turns it into a great point and a great kill by Maggie Gooder.
Yeah, that was just a great hit by Gooder. She saw that the back row defense was just split, and she just found that gap and hit it right there.
Here's Jorgensen. Peluso gives it to Rappa. Rappa's going to try to go cross-court. Hits that one a little bit too hard. It's going to go out on a point for the Titans. Titans up by 10 here in the third set, leading 14-4.
Jorgensen with the serve.
Taking the serve is Jorgensen, like Matt said. Peluso from the back row hits it for the Bayhawks. Lozier to Gildernew. Here we go again for St. Dom's. That was a nice attack, and that was a kill for Megan McCarthy out of Kings Point, New York. Great hit by McCarthy there, Matt.
Yeah, she just placed that right on the line. I mean, that was just a great call by the line judge there.
There's Lozier. Gives it to Azelius, who gives it to Holman. Holman goes in the attack. There's Holy Trinity, but they can hit that one into the pole. It's going to be a point for Dom's. Nice attack by Gildernew. That's Rappa. Rappa hits that one right cross court, and Lozier thought that one was going out, but it goes in.
Hey, I mean, that's a tough call by Lozier there. I thought that ball was going out too.
Couple nice points here by Doms.
Yeah, this set seems to be going back and forth, but the Titans are still leading by 7, which is good for the Titans.
That's Gildernew. Gives it to Azelius. Back to Gildernew. Gildernew. They're going to go for the attack, but after some St. Dom's evens, they hit it right back over to the Titans, and that time we're going to see a kill from the libero. Ashley Lozier is going to get a kill from the back row.
You don't see that very often. Liberos don't typically get too many kills on the board, but that was just a great hit and great play by Ashley Lozier, the senior.
Lozier might have taken a play out of the book of Faith Peluso over on the side of St. Dom's, who's been hitting the ball quite a lot out of that back row. Here's Gildernew on the serve. Over to Peluso. Sets it up for Rappa for the cross-court attack attempt. That one doesn't get over onto the Titans side. They're going to pick up another point, and they're going to lead this third set 16-7. Nice job by Rappa there on the attack. There's Holman just trying to tap it over, and a great kill by Caitlin Holman. Caitlin Holman has to be the star player
Yeah,
today.
I would call her the MVP of today's game. She's been doing great, getting so many crucial points for these Titans.
It's been a lot of fun today to watch Caitlin Holman play. I mean, we saw her in that first set, just hitting the ball hard and finding holes in the St. Dom's defense.
Here's Gildernew with the serve.
Excuse me, I think you lost me there. We started finding holes in the St. Dom's defense in the first set, but then in the second and third set, just seeing her tapping the ball around and mixing it up, it's just been a lot of fun to watch her work today. There's Himmelstein for Doms. Azelius sets up Holman. And some good defense by Doms, keeps the ball alive. There's Rappa, and a dive, and Holman's not going to keep that one up in the air. We see a substitution here. Coming in is going to be number 1, Cavallone. Looks like she's coming in for number 3, Julia Rappa, who we've seen as the outside hitter for the past couple of points.
Yep.
We see a substitution this time. We're going to see Perea coming in for Calcano. This
Here
is
we
the
have
first time we're going to see Perea coming into today's match. I haven't seen her yet today.
We have Alexandra Cavallone serving it for the St. Dom's Bayhawks.
Cavallone gets it over. Here's Azelius. Sets up Holman. Holman's going to get another kill. And like we said, there's Caitlin Holman. A lot of fun to watch her play today. It was a great job by her. And we're going to see Maggie Gooder taking the serve for the Titans as Lozier's going to come out for Kira Kozlowski. Here's Gooder. Serves it over. And Gooder is going to pick up an ace. And the Titans have been pretty dominant here in the third set as they lead 21-8. We see a substitution coming into the game. Match for Doms is going to be Peyton Stevens out of Port Washington, New York. Not sure if this is her first time in the match today, but it might be. I think we're going to see a timeout called by St. Dom's here. Maybe they want to catch Stevens up on what's going on in this third set and the match. We'll find out what happens in the rest of the third set. Titans need 4 more points. We'll see what happens when we come back on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. That's Gooder on the serve as we're back here from break. Himmelstein's going to give a free ball over the Titans. That's Jorgensen to Perea. Here's Azelius on the attack. Gives it to the back row of St. Dom's. Good defense by them. There's Peluso from Dom's. Holman from the Titans goes for the cross-court attack. And that was hit by number 9, Marshall. But looks like every single player on St. Dom's is pointing straight at Holy Trinity as they're looking for the call. But the refs Looks like they didn't see the call.
I think Kozlowski knew what she did, and she's a little embarrassed right now, but everyone seems to be laughing it off.
And you know what's funny there is the refs weren't going to call it until Coach Hogan went over and said it was clearly into the net by Kozlowski. So it's good to see that Coach Hogan has her players back here in the third set, but she does have a little bit of leeway as they're up 21-9 here. But I think that just shows some good sportsmanship by the Titans, as it was pretty obvious that she was in the net. I don't know how the refs didn't see that one. Maybe they put up on that pedestal. We should go on their pedestal for the next game. Maybe we should do that, Matt. And it's going to be 2 nice serves, and we're going to see an ace here for St. Dom's. Taking the serves is Faith Peluso. Peluso hits it to Pere in the back row. Azelius sets up Holman. Holman hits it to the Dom side, who gives some good defense to keep the ball alive here. Here's Holman from the other side of the court. And another good try of defense by Doms as the Titans fight to keep the ball alive now. So some great defense keeps the volley going here. There's Jorgensen. Sets it to Perea, who gives it to Kozlowski. But there to block Kozlowski was Akalano, and she hits that one to the ground. And this might be a time where Coach Hogan's regretting selling the
giving them the point,
ref
yeah.
and giving them the point there. But Titans still up by a lot here in the third set. Here's Azelius, sets up Kozlowski. Another good block by Doms, but Titans gonna keep the ball alive here. And that's a great hit by Akalano. It goes off the hands of Olivia Jorgensen. Taking the serve is Faith Peluso. There's Peluso. Gives it to Perea, gives it to Jorgensen after it hits the ceiling of the Titans gymnasium. Here's Akalano, jumps for the attack, and that one went a little bit too far. That's going to be a point for the Titans. Only 3 away from winning the third set here at Holy Trinity High School. Seeing Rachel Guzman and Lamena, 2 seniors on this Titan team, 2 leaders coming in. And there's Guzman with a spin serve. And Doms gives it to Akalano. And Akalano's going to get a kill. And Akalano has come alive towards the end of this third set. Doms down by 8 here. This is served by Doms. Lamena's going to get the attacking kill for the Titans, and looks like she was a little upset with herself after that attack, but it obviously was a pretty good one as she gets the kill there.
Yeah.
I'm going to see a substitution here as Perea is going to come out for number 43, Kiri Gildernew. There's a substitution on the St. Dom's side of the court. Philbree is coming in to play. Here's Azelius taking the serve. And Azelius is going to get an ace. What a job by Casey Azelius. And that leads the Titans to set point here at Holy Trinity High School. Titans need 1 more point here to clinch the third set. Can Casey Azelius do it? We'll see what happens. Titans up by 4 here. Here's Azelius with a nice serve, and she's going to secure the third set with a great ace by Casey Azelius. And that powerful serve, we've been seeing it all day today. So great job by her. As we head into break, we're going to take a look at a replay after a nice good hit by Caitlin Holman. Here's the replay. We're going to take a look at it now. And just a great job by her. I mean, she's been a great job getting the kills so far in this game.
But we'll see what happens as we head into the fourth set here. St. Dom's needs to win it if they want to keep it alive and head to a fifth. We'll see what they do when we come back here on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Welcome back here on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Jack Like and Matt Becker here on the call as we're going to start the fourth set here at Holy Trinity High School. We've seen the first set won by the Titans pretty dominantly. Second set won by St. Dom's. And a nice comeback for the Titans, but they couldn't get the win there. And a nice dominant win by the Titans in the third set. And to start off the fourth set, it's Ashley Lozier with an ace. Welcome back here on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. Jack Like and Matt Becker on the call. Here's Lozier. Titans up by 1.
You know, that's just a great start by Lozier. Way to start the fourth set with an ace.
Need to build the momentum here. Nice set, and here's the attack from the middle. of St. Dom's. Here's Holman on the outside. That one's going to go into the net. But it looks like there should be a violation called as one of the St. Dom's players came down onto the net and it's going to be a point for the Titans. The Titans are going to be up by 2 now. Yeah, it looks like both of the refs saw that one, so must have been there. There's St. Dom's, send the ball over after a little bit of sloppiness there. Nice job by Holman. They fight to get this one over. We have free ball from the Titans. What can they do? Here's Kozlowski. Nice job by the back row of Doms. Here's Peluso. Calcano can't get it over the net, and it's going to be a point for St. Dom's. And they're going to cut their lead in half, but the lead wasn't much. The lead's cut in half from 2-1. And taking the serve is going to be one of the star players on St. Dom's, Faith Peluso. Good serve by her. There's Zelius. Gives it to Kozlowski. Nice attack by her. There's Acolano. Can't get that one too far over. Nice job by Kozlowski, but a good block by Acolano. Hits it back over as Kozlowski, and she's going to get the kill. We've seen a lot of great sets today by Casey Zelius, where they've been to either Caitlin Holman or Kira Kozlowski. Kira Kozlowski sets a great job by her. And some great attacks and some great kills. I mean, we've been talking all day about Caitlin Holman, and definitely a good job by Kira Kozlowski.
Yeah, you can never forget also about Ashley Lozier with that one kill that she had.
Oh, yes.
You don't really ever see liberos getting kills like this, and that was just really cool to see one.
That was a good job by Lozier, and she's been diving around all day today. So, but I don't know if the highlight of her day might have been her kill. That serve is going to be heading to the net. That's going to be a point for St. Dom's. See, a substitution coming into the game is going to be number 13. Tuhig at number 17, McCarthy. Tuhig is going to be on the serve. Caitlin Tuhig out of Hicksville. She's a senior on this Dom's team. Nice serve by her. Lozier to Azelius. Over to the side for Lamena. Lamena taps it over, and she's going to get a kill. Nice job reading the defense. There's Emma Lamena.
She put a lot of spin on that ball, Lamena. Like, she just put so much spin on it, they didn't even know where it was going.
Coming into the game for Dom's, give me number 14, Emma Filbury. Here's Azelius on the serve for the Titans. They're up by 2 here. Nice serve by her into the back row. There's the set and the attack. But that's going to be a violation called by both the Titans. Maybe the Titans called that one before the refs did, but the violation called nonetheless. Off the hit from Alexandria Marshall. There's Azelius in the serve. She hits that one into the net. Let's see a substitution on the St. Dom's side. Coming in was Covino. She's going to come in for number 1, Cavallone. On the service line is Marshall for St. Dom's. They're down by 2 here. 5-3 in the fourth set. Emma Lamena gets the dig there. Gives it to Lozier, who gives it to Gilderdo. It's going to be a free ball. What can Dom's do? That's McCarthy. Jumps and hits that one into the net. So nice job by the Titans. You see Maggie Gooder coming in for Kira Kozlowski. Taking the serve is going to be, looks like Ashley Lozier. Lozier the libero on this Titans team. Looks like a nice serve by, looks like a rough serve from Lozier. That ball went out, but now there's going to be some confusion here on the sideline. Confusion on the sideline as we see the ref on the court talking to Coach Hogan. As we see Coach Hogan talking to Gooter here about what's going on. And now Coach Hogan's going to come over to figure out what the confusion is between the, looks like it might be on the rotation sheet. That's Akalanu on the serve for St. John's after a little bit of confusion at the scorer's table. Nice job by the Titans there, getting the point on the kill. And now we're going to see the assistant coach on St. Dom's taking out the rule book here. She seems to still be complaining about that last point, saying that the score should have another point for St. Dom's because they were out of rotation.
I just think there's a bunch of confusion going on, but
Well, maybe she's looking at the book. We'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens. Here's Jorgensen. Back row hit by Dobbs. And there's the attack from them. Here's Holman in the cross court attack, and she's going to turn that cross court attack into a cross court kill. Nice job by Caitlin Holman. Nice serve by Jorgensen. That one's going to be sent back over to the Titans. Holman sends it back over to Dobbs, and after a little bit of back and forth at the net, the Titans are going to pick up a point there as they lead this fourth set 9-4.
That was just a great tip over the net by Maggie Gooder. Comes Jorgensen with the serve. To Jorgensen. Azelius to Holman. Holman
Nice
with
job.
the kill.
Nice job by Caitlin Holman going for the kill there. And like we've said so many times today, she's been mixing it up between the powerful spike and the little tap. And she's just been, playing around the minds of St. Dom's defense right now. And she is in the zone as the Titans are up by 6 here in the 4th set. Nice set by Doms. Just trying to get that one over. And there's Holman. This time she's diving on defense.
Yeah, great dig by Holman there.
Now we're going to see her on defense. There's Lozier to Azelius. Over to Gildenheuvel for the cross-court attack. That's going to be a tough dig as that one went into the net and couldn't be set by number 16, Mia Seaman. And we're going to see a timeout called by St. Dom's. Well, on the other side of the timeout, we'll see what happens as Doms is down by 6 here. Excuse me, 7 on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel. We're going to take a look at a replay here by Caitlin Holman. Let's take a look. Here's the replay. It's a nice job by her, and like we said, she's just been tapping the ball around and playing with the St. Dom's defense. That's a good job by her. Well, welcome back here. It's 11-4 in the 4th set. Jorgensen's taking the serve for the Titans.
Here comes Jorgensen with the serve.
There's Himmelstein on the outside. And there's Holman on the outside for the Titans, and she's going to pick up a kill. Caitlin Holman coming into her own here at Holy Trinity High School tonight as the Titans lead by 8 here. Nice serve by Jorgensen. Faith Peluso gives it over for the Doms as that was Seaman knocking it over the net. Here's Seaman now on the attack. Tries to tap it over. Good job by the Titans. Gooder gives it the free ball over to Doms. Nice attack there by McCarthy. Lozier gives the set to Gildernew, and that was just out. But the right idea by Kira Gildernew. That's going to be an ace for St. Dom's and Peyton Stevens. This is the second time so far today we saw Peyton Stevens. Here's Stevens. Stevens in the serve. This one just gets over again. And here's Gildernew. And
yeah, just another ace by Stevens there.
Here's Peyton Stevens. Puts it over for Trinity. There's Holman. Holman went cross court there. Set up is Seaman. Lozier on the defensive. There's Gildner going for the little tap, and she's going to get a kill. Went off the end of her hand, but a nice job by Kira Gildner. That was Gildner on the serve. Setting up Peluso from the back row. Azelius over to Gooder. Too much power for Gooder. That one's going to just go out. And Doms is going to score their 8th point of the set. So 13-8. Titans leading by 5. Taking the serve is going to be Alexandria Cavallone. Here's Cavallone. Just gets that one over. Good job by Lozier. Just trying to tap it over as the St. Tom's defense, but they can't. Trying to tap that one over was Emma Filbury. But just couldn't get that one over. That was a little bit of a back and forth between the Titans and the Bayhawks.
Here comes Lozier with the serve.
Nice serve by Lozier. Here's Seaman. Seaman finds Lozier in the back row on defense. Here's Kozlowski. Nice hit by her. But in the back row is Stevens. Gives it to Seaman, who keeps the ball alive for Dons. It's a free ball. What can the Titans do? There's Holman. A good job by Cavallone in the back row on defense. That was the attack from the outside hitter on Doms. They're going to set up Seaman this time. Nice job on defense by Jorgensen. Azelius finds Lozier. In the back row, it's Peluso. Good defense by Lozier. Gives it to Jorgensen. Lozier's going to hand the free ball over to Doms. They're going to set up the outside hitter again for Doms on the attack. Here's Holman for the Titans. Good defense by Peluso. We got a good volley going here. Seaman just taps that one over. Here's Azelius to Holman again. She's going to try the tap move once again as well for the back row. It's Peluso. Azelius to Holman. And Holman's going to hit that one in the net. And St. Dom's is going to get the best of Holy Trinity there in that volley. But what a job back and forth. And I think something that we saw there that was pretty impressive is it wasn't just the Titans targeting one of their outside hitters or Dom's targeting one of their outside hitters. It was everybody coming together. And we're going to see Seaman coming out of the game. That's Kira Kozlowski, hits that one into the net. And St. Dom's has gotten a little bit of a roll here. They're only down by 4 here. Sorry, like I was saying, Seaman came out of the game there as she was one of the stronger players on Dom's in that last volley. Here's Azelius, gives it to Kozlowski. Here's Acolano, good defense and a good block by Kozlowski. Acolano again, this time it looks like it was off the hands of a Titan, and it's gonna be a point for St. Dom's.
Yeah, St. Dom's seems to be making a little bit of a comeback right now. I don't think the Titans should be too worried, but these Titans have been playing hard all day. It might be getting to them.
Another good job of good sportsmanship by Coach Hogan, as she said it was a tip there. No argument there. Here's Faith Peluso on the serve. Calcano gives it to Azelius, who gives it to Holman for the cross-court attack. Good block by Acolano, and they're going to hold that one. And the Titans, rightfully so, are going to take a timeout here. Titans still up by 2, but it was a nice little rally we've seen from St. Tom's, and they're going to be looking to keep that one going when we come back from break. We'll find out what happens when we come back on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel.
Welcome back here on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. Jack Like and Matt Becker here on the call. Titans up by 2 and make that up by 1 here. Nice job by St. Dom's.
Here's Faith Peluso.
Nice serve by her. Azelius finds Calcano, and Calcano almost hits that one into the boards. I think she did hit that one into the boards.
Yeah.
And the game is tied here at Holy Trinity, 14-14, and we had a good match here today, Matt. Here's Peluso.
This might be close.
Finds it to Azelius, and Azelius hits that one to the net, and just like that, the score has flipped, and Doms is winning the 4th set here at Holy Trinity. Here's Peluso. Gets that one over. Calcano finds Azelius. Azelius sets up Kozlowski. Kozlowski taps it over. Good defense by Stevens. Akalanu tries to hit that one over for Doms. That's Kozlowski trying to get over, but the violation's called. Whistle is blown, and Doms is going to get a point there. So the Titans down by 2 here after calling a timeout. There's Peluso. Calcano to Lozier. And it goes into the ceiling, and Jorgensen can't find anyone now. It's pretty hard to find the ball after coming out of the ceiling. Be careful when you play like that, because I can throw it. A little miscommunication by the Titans, but they have the ball here. There's Holman. Good job by Peluso on defense. They're going for the attack as Doms. Here's Azelius, tries to just tap it over. Here's Doms again, Akalanu. And good defense by Kira Kozlowski. Nice job by her, finding herself for the block. Taking the serve here for the Titans is Rachel Guzman. Titans down by 2. Nice serve by Guzman. Here's Marshall. Good defense by Lozier. To Azelius. Over to Lamena. There's the set to the back row for Peluso. Here's Azelius. Gives it to Lamena. She tries to tap it towards the back left corner. Good set to Marshall. Good defense by Lozier. Azelius to Lamena. Lamena keeps on tapping that one over. This time it's going to be some nice defense from Calcano, and that one's not going to be able to be kept alive on the Titans side. That's going to be another point from the Bayhawks of St. Dom's as they now lead this 4th set by 3. Coming into the game is going to be McCarthy and number 13, Caitlin Tuhig. There's Tuhig. Azelius just tries to tap that one over. That was a smart play by her. There's Kozlowski who sets it behind her to Guzman. And there's Lamena in the back corner, and she's going to get a kill. That was perfect placement from Emma Lamena, finding that back corner. And great job by her getting the kill. Titans still in this one, obviously, only down by 2. But they need to get something going here, as they'd obviously like to be in the lead. But these points are heading into the 20s. Here's Azelius. Azelius serves it to Peluso. Heading it over is Marshall. That's Lozier for Trinity. Azelius over to Lamena on the attack and turn that into a kill. It went off the hands of Akalanu on the block, but could not be dug up after hitting Akalanu by number 9, Alexandria Marshall. Here's Azelius. Titans down by 1. Looking to tie this game up. To Peluso again. Nice set. Here's Marshall. Good defense from the Titans, but that one's going to go out off the hands of Kozlowski and Gilderman. So Titans back down by 2 here.
Nice hit by Doms. Here's Kozlowski on the outside. There's the set to Akalanu. That should be too high from Akalanu. It's going to go out. Titans back down, only down by 1. Coming into the game is going to be number 12, Lilia Ponte, a sophomore on this Titans team. Haven't seen a lot from her today, but let's see what she can do. She's going to be at the service line. Also coming in is Maggie Guter for Ashley Lozier. Here's Aponte. Nice serve from Aponte. This one was steered in the back row. Azelius looking to find the back corner on this set. And that's going to be out off the hands of Akalano on the attack. Maybe a timeout called by St. Dom's as the game is tied here in the 4th set, 19-19. Just a reminder that Titans have won Titans have won 2 sets and Doms has won 1. So they need to win this one to keep themselves alive and try to force a 5th set. We'll find out what happens when we come back on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. Okay, welcome back here on the Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. We're see a good ending to this 4th set, that's for sure. Tied match, tied set, 19-19. Good serve from Aponte. And that's going to be an ace for Lily Aponte after some passing confusion by Doms. There's a serve from Aponte. Peluso. Akalanu gives the free ball over to the Titans. What can they do with it? Azelius hits it off to Gildadu. Good attack by her. Doms keeps it alive. There's Guzman to Azelius. Back to Gildadu for the cross-court attack. Going to go back over to the Titans side after some good defense. Here's Lamena now, looking to find the corner. At the St. Dom's side of the court. There's Peluso. And it's Aponte over to Lamena. Wilson gives it over to Philby. Titans with the free ball. Azelius to Lamena. Lamena hits it into the net. And after a good volley, the Titans fall on that point.
Yeah, you can just tell the Bayhawks really want this win. So it's very even.
So it's 20-20. Here's Akalano. Left serve, so we head into the net. She's not going to get that one. She's going to come out of the set on that one, our substitution. She's going to come out for Seaman. Here's Jorgensen on the serve.
Good serve there by Jorgensen.
There's Seaman on giving the free ball over to the Titans. Azelius sets up Gildanu behind her. And that's going to be a point for St. Dom's, but it looks like might have... like no one saw the tip there, but it looks like the ball was
pretty obviously tipped off the hands of St. Dom's.
Yeah, I mean, these refs have been having trouble today seeing some of these calls, but
I mean, that one, pretty obviously. I mean, we can see if we can get a replay for after this point of that, but I mean, it looks like it. I don't know if we can find it, but it looks like it hit the net there.
Stevens with the serve.
There's Stevens. Jorgensen. Zelius sets up Gildernew. Well, she wasn't ready for it. Taps it over. Peluso. Filbury to Seaman. Nice job by Azelius on the defense. Oh, and a rough set by Loser, but give it to Caitlin Holman to keep it alive.
What a ball right there from Caitlin Holman.
Caitlin Holman keeps it alive. Here's Gildernew on the attack, and she turns it into a cross-court kill. And what a job by Caitlin Holman. We've talked about her on offense, but listen to her on defense. What a job by her. There's a serve from Gildernew over to Doms. And that's going to be another ace for for Holy Trinity. As they now lead this fourth set, 23-21. And St. Dom's here is definitely going to want to take the timeout. Okay, maybe they won't.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to take this timeout.
Does she have any timeouts left? No matter what, she didn't take the timeout.
I don't know if they have any more timeouts.
Don't know.
But
and here's Gildernew on the serve. Titans up by 2 here in the fourth set. Filbury over to Seaman. Gildernew digs it up, but no one's there for the Titans to get that one.
Titans are still up by 1. It's going to be the Bayhawks ball, though. Looks like there's going to be a substitution. Yep, here comes number 1, Alexandra Cavallone, for number 21.
22-23 here. And St. Dom's is going to hit that one into the net. And it is set point for the Titans. Up by 2 here in the fourth set.
It is the Titan serve here, so looks like Lozier's going to be taking the serve. Let's hope she can make something great out of it.
Here comes Lasky. She'll be coming in for Lilia Ponte. See a timeout call. Timeout call when we come back. It's set point for the Titans. 24-22. We'll see what happens when we come back. Holy Trinity School YouTube channel. We're going to take a replay look. We're going to take a replay look now at Caitlin Holman. And after the great job by her, let's take a look at what she did. You saw a great job there by Caitlin Holman. And we talked a lot about her on offense, but she's been playing some great defense today. Here's Lozier on the serve. Set point for the Titans. Get that one over. It's Peluso. Sets up Seaman. Lozier's there on defense. Azelius gives it to Kozlowski. Good back row hit by Doms. Peluso, the libero. Jorgensen. Azelius. Here's Holman. Holman taps it over to Stevens. Stevens is now going to have to hit it from the back row. Azelius over to Holman again. Good job by her. Peluso calls the ball.
Good dig there from Jorgensen.
That's Caitlin Holman! And what a way to end the game. Leave it to Caitlin Holman. And what a superstar in today's matches. I think the MVP, without a doubt, of today's game would have to go to Caitlin Holman, and what a job by her. And so fittingly for this match to be ended on a kill from Caitlin Holman. Matt, what do we got to say?
I mean, honestly, I don't think there could have been anyone better but Caitlin Holman to finish this game. She's just been such a presence here today in this matchup. Such a great job by all these girls. Handing it off to Jack.
Let's see if we can get a replay there of that great hit by Caitlin Holman to end it. Here's Caitlin Holman, and we see her just jump up there and tap that one over. That's a great job by her. I mean, just a star match. Good job there by her today, and a lot of fun to watch her play. Well, after a great match here at Holy Trinity High School, St. Dom's falls to Holy Trinity 3-1, and this was just what the Titans needed, just to pick up a win as they headed to the next week. Like I said before, home game will be on Thursday next week, and hopefully me and Matt will be back broadcasting once again. Well, but from Tia DePaulo, Julie Cardenas, Matt McCormick, and Jab McCormick behind the scenes, this is Matt Becker, and I'm Jack Lake saying thanks for listening on the Holy Trinity High School YouTube channel.